Hey guys, this is Mitch here again, and this is going to be my Barrows guide using the Black Salamander method. With this method, you'll be using a combination of the Black Salamander, Ancient Magics, Range, and Melee. These are the requirements needed in order to do this method efficiently and make the most money out of it. This is the type of inventory that you'd be wanting to take for this type of method. You won't need any more than 8 prayer pots because the Barrows chest actually gives 2-dose prayer pots now, quite commonly as well. If you've got high strength, then you won't need super strength. I would only recommend a super strength if you've got under 90. You definitely need 3 emergency shark because you will make mistakes and then you will need to use it as well. You also need a Guthan spear definitely for healing while you're in the tunnel. You also need the rune place holders, the bolt rack holders, so that when you get loots you don't have to drop prayer pots or food to pick up the runes and bolt racks, so they're already there. You'll need 300 casts of a particular spell, whether it's Ice Burst, Ice Blitz or Ice Barrage. If you can do Barrage, definitely do it, so do your highest spell you can. And you'll need a range weapon, Black D'hide or Carols. Definitely need a spade to even do Barrows. You'll need Harrowland Tar, 1500 should be enough for a whole trip. Black Salamander to shoot the Harrowland Tar, and a teleport out. This is the required equipment needed to this method of Barrows. You'll definitely need Guthans, that is a must to be able to heal, so that's why you don't take much food, because you use the Guthan set effect to heal. You can replace your Karasis with a whip or God Sword or Saradomin Sword. You can also replace your Barrows gloves with any highest possible RFD gloves or your combat bracelet. You can replace the Obby shield with a Dragonfire shield, Blessed Spirit shield, any Citrus shield or a Dragon Defender, something that gives kind of good strength bonus because you don't really need defense bonus. You can replace your Glory with the Fury or your cape with a Soul Wars cape, Ardoon cloak or a Skill cape trimmed. So to start off, teleport to your house. Your house will look a lot better than mine, but all you have to do is run and teleport to Kirill through your portal. Now you want an altar as well in here, as well as the Kirill portal, so you can recharge your prayer points when you go for your next trip, which will be a long time after your first. So now just run round the pub, and you should get to the tunnel that you discovered in the In Search of the Merit quest. This will take you underground to a part of Mortmire Swamp. So this will kind of skip past all the danger of your food getting rotten by all the ghast, I think they're called, that are located in the Mortmire Swamp. So then just go over the tree house ladder thing and then go and board the swamp. There's no quest needed for the swamp boatie. All you need to do is get there and it will take you all the way down into Morton without the danger of the ghast, so you won't be able to get your food all rotten. And because you're only taking 3 food, if one of them does get rotten, it is a bit of a problem, but you still will be able to survive quite easily. So once you get here, you want to run to the most southern mound, and that will be Carol. So once you're there, just rest. So the first brother you're going to be killing will be Carol. Now this isn't my first chest because I wanted to try and get a perfect run for the guide, so I waited until I got one. So in this case, Carol was my tunnel, so you don't go in your tunnel until you've killed the rest of them. So then I'd come back to him. So now here you want to weld your Black D'hide, Rune Crossbow and Broad Tip Bolts. Go down there and pray Mage and put Eagle Eye on, or your best prayer. Now you don't want to drink, if your prayer drops to 0 for arms, you do not want to drink a dose because arms won't do hardly any damage at all. Even if he does use his Fire Wave, because he usually only does his Weaken or Confuse spells, which do nothing. Well, they lower a few of your stats, but no stats that you actually need for this method. Also, you can spec him with your melee weapon if you have spec. In this case I did, I just kind of forgot to. So as you can see, my prayers dropped and nothing happens. You don't ever want to drink a dose of prayer pot on arms. So the max amount of dosage on for prayer you want to take per chest is probably 3. If you do any more than 3, you're probably doing something wrong because you usually won't need any more than 3. So once you've killed Arms, which is the middle mound, you want to go to the northeast mound to kill Darok. Now you want to make sure that it's on blaze, so you want to weld your Guthans and your black Salamander, and make sure that your Harrowlander tars are wielded as well. Now you want to stand in the middle square, and you want to search the sarcophagus, and you want to go on the other side of it like this. Then you want to freeze him as so, and then attack him. Now he won't be able to do anything now, and you'll be able to get 6 shots with your Salamander in before it becomes unfrozen. So that's 2. That's 3. So once you get to his 6th shot, you want to run back really quickly, because usually he'll be on low health, and Darok's set effect is actually to hit much higher when he's on low health. So as you can see, he's become unfrozen, so I ran back, froze him again, and then start shooting him. And usually I would only take 2 of them, if not 1. And this is where the XP counter comes in handy, because you can see if you splash, so you know what to do if you splash, and splashing with Ice Barrage is 52 XP. So once you've killed him, go out of up the stairs, and then go to the northwest mound, which is Varrock. So this is basically the same, except you don't go behind the sarcophagus, because it seems Varrock's a bit smaller, so it's much harder to get in behind it. So what you do is you just freeze him and step to the side, so you're diagonal like this, and you'll still have 6 bursts in it, and you can usually kill him within the 6, and if you don't, then you'll just have to do it again. So this is what you do this for Varrock and Torag, and you do the same thing with Guthan that you do with Darok, if that makes sense, because Darok and Guthan seem to be bigger than Varrock and Torag, so it's much harder to trap them behind it. So yeah, you do need to be on top of the mound. So yes, the same thing you do with Varrock, you do with Torag. Freeze him and step diagonally to the side. Like that. So remember, you only have 6 shots, so usually you're always going to be counting in your head. After a while you just get used to it. And so just be ready with the barrage to freeze him again. And sometimes you even finish them off with the barrage like I think I do. Like that. And a lot of the times, even if they do actually hit you, they won't hit anything. I mean, if you have above 80 defense, it's really rare that they actually do hit something. The only one that actually hits on you is Varrock, because his set effect is to hit through prayers and armor. So now finally, you want to go all the way to the southeast one and do Guthans. Now I've just stepped to the side for him, so you can do that. I would recommend maybe doing it for Guthans, because you can still do it, and the only reason I don't do this for Darok is because it's a little bit more risky, because when they become, if you don't kill him in time, then they become unfrozen and they can hit you again. So for Darok, he'd be on low health, and then he'd smack me a 540 because he's not frozen, in the process of me refreezing him. So if you're just standing directly in front, they can still hit you. You have to actually be standing to diagonally to the side. So once you've killed all the brothers, you want to go back to your tunnel, whether it's Carol, Darok, Aram, Varrock, Torag, or Guthans. So when you're in the tunnel, this is your chance to heal with your full Guthans on. So at the moment, I've basically got full health, so I don't bother. So to enter the tunnel, just click on the sarcophagus and just click, yeah, I'm fearless. So yeah, if you do need healing, then just weld your Guthan Spear, and preferably don't heal on the skeletons, because they can hit you as well. So the idea of the tunnel is to find doors that are, say, open, not examine. So for this example, it was really quick to find my tunnel door. So you just really want to get to the middle, and you can, if you get your camera right, you can actually see the chest. So you won't be able to do your puzzle door, which is the middle doors, if you're being attacked by something. So when you get attacked by anything, it's probably best to just weld your Guthan's War Spear so you can heal if they hit. Now, so just click on it, and then there'll be a puzzle for every single time. They're usually pretty simple. I'll put the solutions at the end. So once you're through, just go through those doors and you'll get to your chest. If your brother hasn't appeared by the time you get to the chest, then when you open the chest, he'll appear. Now, because I have Carol as my brother for the tunnel, it's a bit different to how you'd kill it if it was a melee brother. So I'll be able to show you that after this. So you just pray range. Don't prayer pot until you actually find the brother, otherwise the tunnel will just drain it before you even get there. So Karasi is pretty good because it's got a mage base spec and they're weak to magic. So just spec him, put pot up strength if you want to, and kill him as quick as possible. Once you killed him, just get ready to just search the chest to get your loot, and then you have to go out the exact same way you came back. So for me that was pretty easy because I only went through like one room, but it can be pretty complicated, but there's only usually one route, so it's pretty easy to find. So once you go back out, go back up the rope and then start the whole trip all over again. And this setup can usually get you around 10 to 20 chests per trip. I've gotten up to 20. This is an example of how to kill a melee brother when you get to the tunnel. So if it appears randomly during the tunnel, always just leave it and just keep running until you get to the chest, otherwise it's a little hard. So you just basically run to the corner of that rock and then run behind this rock. So it's northwest to southwest corner of the chest room. And then you just ice barrage it from behind that rock. You'll automatically run diagonally and then just salamander it down. And the same rule applies to the six spray rule, I guess you could say. Once it's dead, search the chest and go back out. Here's just a simple tip for when you're in the tunnel and you're on the outskirts of the whole sort of tunnel area. You can basically just right click on the door in which the area you passed to see if it's open, and if it is, then you know that that's your door, so you don't have to go in through the door that leads to that area and then to find that it's unlocked to have to go back out, so you know just before you approach the door, so that just makes the tunnel just a little bit easier.